Offbeat Cinema, celebrating hot coffee and cool movies for 30 years. Brought to you by Mighty Taco. Enjoy the great taste of Mighty anytime at mightytaco.com. And by your home entertainment store, speakershop.com.
Like cats, chicks, welcome back to the Hungry Air and Offbeat Cinema. My name is Bird, and I'm joined by our offbeat theologian, Theo for short. And hey, like Theo, where in the world is Zelda? Any idea?
Well, now, Bird, the last I heard, she was spreading the offbeat word down near Boggy Creek. So now they have two legends down there.
Oh, living her best life. I can dig that, but don't look now, but isn't that Spectra back there?
Hey, Spectra, like what mystical magic are you cooking up?
Boys, the spirits are extra spicy tonight, and so is tonight's movie.
Whoa, like man, that explains why I've been craving Mighty Taco all day.
Right, Bird, because tonight's movie comes to us from south of the border, home of senoritas, margaritas, and, well, Aztec mummies.
Ha! You know, there are mummies and there are mummies, but you just cannot beat an Aztec mummy.
Which brings us to tonight's movie, A Curse of the Aztec Mummy.
Oh man, like that reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. She was always so wrapped up in herself.
Oh, well, too tight, was she?
Boys, let's talk about the movie, shall we? Now, Curse of the Aztec Mummy is the second of 3 films in the Aztec Mummy series.
That's correct, Spectra. And what's cool about this entry in the series is that it has all the best bits from the first Mummy, Aztec Mummy movie, in flashback. So you're really getting 2 films in one.
So cats, you're gonna see a familiar name pop up in the credits tonight, K. Gordon Murray. Like his whole scene was importing these pics from faraway lands, dubbing them into English. Just the kind of wacky way out entertainment we dig the most.
In fact, his biggest hit was Santa Claus, which we've shown here on Offbeat Cinema.
Yeah, man, like, you know, a whole generation is still in recovery from seeing that at a Saturday matinee back in the day.
Which is why we're happy to continue the K. Gordon Murray tradition with tonight's hit flick, The Curse of the Aztec Mummy. Cats, you've been warned.
Yes, and as always, cats, we have viewer mail to read. There's a surprise or two along the way, and much more.
Now, let the Aztec Mummy cast his spell on you in Curse of the Aztec Mummy from 1957, directed by Rafael Portillo.
Oh man, pass the salsa.
capture the bat. Identify him as the famous intellectual Dr. Krupp.
Did you read this?
Yeah. Filthy dogs. I gotta spring the boss. He has plans and we're included.
You're right, Lilac. But where, when?
Who knows? I'll find a way, Bear. I got a good idea. I'll send him a little message.
But that's impossible.
Nah, not this way it ain't. The cops will put it in his hand down there at the station house. So you see, then the boss will understand that we're waiting to help. Bear, you better go phone all the guys. Because we'll be needing extra strength.
I'll be back.
Hey, is the inspector here? He's interrogating the bat in there.
Then no one else is mixed up in this business with you.
No.
In other words, you work alone?
Uh-huh.
He's lying, Inspector. You have to capture 2 other crooks. One is nicknamed Lilac. He and another escaped the night you raided the bat's house.
All right, how about it? Mister, you better confess all you know about this. I'm warning you. Is this a message for you? You're stalling. Do you know anything about this, Doctor?
No, I don't.
Well, if this man is the bat, by whom was this drawing sent?
I don't know, Inspector. Possibly by those 2 men I told you about before. Unfortunately, I haven't got the slightest idea of what they're trying to say.
Take him out now. And keep your eyes on him, boys. This message complicates things. Let's all be very careful from now on. This individual is extremely dangerous, you know.
Yes, Inspector, that's completely true.
According to the facts I have on this case, this fellow they call the Bat used to be a very famous doctor.
Only his license was canceled years ago
Why, Doctor?
for carrying out forbidden experiments on animals and human beings. He grafted on parts that didn't belong to the animal's anatomy. And naturally, the results were horrible.
Men commit the most terrible crimes. Anyway, with the proof I have filed against this Dr. Krupp, I'll send him away for a good many years.
Yes, I hope so, Inspector.
Don't worry about this. I don't think there's anything to it. I'm very grateful to you all for the help you've given me. And I'd just like to ask one more thing from you, Doctor.
You bet, Inspector.
I'd like you to tell me all you know about the men we haven't captured yet, so that I can put a bulletin out right away.
I'd be glad to, Inspector. Are you going up to bed now, darling?
Yes, and good night, Papa.
Sleep well now, my sweet.
A very good night to all.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Judy.
Well, I think that we'll feel much better now that this case is cleared up. The Bat is going to go to jail, so there's nothing to fear now.
No, I don't agree. You're forgetting about the old curse, aren't you?
That business is all over now.
No. My father died when he profaned the tomb of the Aztecs. According to the curse, my father was to perish, and me too, because they also blame me.
Now stop that. Why worry, Flora? As long as the mummy has the breastplate and the bracelet in his custody, he won't wake up, dear. Now you listen. I want to take you to the altar soon. I really do. Then you can forget all that's past, darling. But till that date, can't you stay here at the house? My daughter's alone. She and I need you so much.
You're very sweet, darling.
I was sure scared, and I'll admit it. Each time I think about all that's happened to us.
The old ticker starts to complain like crazy.
Are you kidding? But that's silly. When things start going wrong, you run like a bunny.
Sure, I don't want my head to get broken open, that's all.
You sure have plenty of guts.
My dear young warrior, just remember this sentence. He who ran came back to say that the other heroes were buried today. All set?
How long ago did they leave with the bat?
No more than 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Which way?
Toward the north.
Meddling fool. You better start saying your prayers, because now you're gonna get it.
No, don't kill him, Lilac.
But, boss, listen.
I know what I'm talking about. Come on now. We better get going. I am going to kill this intruder, but in my own way.
The bat escapes.
Good evening.
How did you get in? Who are you?
I'm a friend.
If you're a friend, why do you wear that mask?
That's too long a story to go into right now. I only came here tonight to tell you that you're both in very great danger. The bat managed to escape.
And just why did you come here to the house to let us know? Tell us who you are.
I'm called the Angel, and don't think that I'm interested in you two alone. I try to help anyone that's in trouble. My mission is to do all I can do to eliminate crime. There's so much of it around. You asked me about the mask. I hide my identity because it makes my job easier.
Tell me another thing. Who helped the bat?
When they were taking the bat to the penitentiary, Lilac and the other men arrived on the scene. They murdered the guards that were inside the bus.
What a ruthless thing to do.
I hate to say it, but I couldn't fight that many and win.
This is terrible, darling. To what lengths can that man go?
Who knows, Doctor? In any case, I came to warn you because you should be ready for anything now. I don't know when or where that man is going to attack.
And the police, aren't they on the job too?
Certainly they are. Their companions were killed by the bat's men, you know, and they want revenge also. There are things to do, so I'll be going. And I'll leave you this radio wristwatch. If you ever run into any trouble, just call me if you find it possible to do so. I'll hear you. This is a long-distance radio. Goodbye, Doctor.
Now things are really bad. The bat is scot-free again.
When's this nightmare going to end?
A smart idea to send me that paper. As soon as I spied the bat on it, I figured you'd planned an escape, so I waited until you came.
I was plenty lucky that the plan worked out.
I depended on you, and you didn't fail. And so I'm going to reward you quite soon.
What's the reward, Doctor?
The Aztec treasure.
Do you mean we'll be going after that treasure again?
That's right, Bear. But I don't intend to fail this time. Nothing can get in our way. When I find the treasure, I'll make you all rich.
That's great, boss. But how do we find the treasure?
Now listen, men. One dark night, and this all happened a long time ago, Dr. Almaden hypnotized his fiancée in order to prove his theory that through the use of hypnotism, a person could be sent back through time to lead a past life.
Now you're exactly 20 years old. Tell me, Flora. Tell me where you are.
Don't know.
Meditate on this thing. I must know. Please think and tell me your old name and where you are at this very instant. I need to know exactly where you are. Tell me where you are. You must tell me where you are.
I know. I'm in the Aztec city, Tenochtitlan.
Through her hypnotic trance, the doctor sent the girl to the great Aztec city of pyramids, where she had lived during her previous life. At birth, she had been designated as a servant of the great god Tecatlipoca, and she should have remained a maiden during her lifetime. But she fell in love with Popoca, a great Aztec warrior who defied the laws that governed their lives in those days and made her his. However, the high priest discovered their secret, and they were taken as prisoners to the lower temple, into the presence of the god Tecatlipoca, to receive their punishment for violating his laws. They were made to kneel before the high priest, who ordered that the sacrificial fires be lighted. Popoca was sentenced to be buried alive, to keep watch through the endless centuries over the breastplate and the bracelet. His soul was cursed, so that he'd never be able to find eternal rest. And she was sentenced to death, not an honorable death as a servant of her god, but as a simple sacrifice to appease his anger.
Wiki Popokaki. Umate me kawo ni wiki. Me palkoiski. Ni mission grupilia. Ingwani que le guía. Maye wigatinete. Mone malkayelis. Moyo lo yas.
And that's the story of the experiment that I was witness to, since I was watching through the window of Dr. Almaden's laboratory. He learned what he wanted. He decided to try to find the objects that show exactly where the treasure is located, the great Aztec treasure. Guided by Flora, who recalled perfectly well that she had been there in her trance. They found the objects there. I saw them later. They're spectacular, and naturally their value is incalculable. When I was incarcerated by the police, I learned the bad news later. This Dr. Almaden had replaced the two things in the tomb, the breastplate and the bracelet.
Only how will we find the tomb now? That ain't gonna be an easy job.
Lilac, why are you so innocent? I told you the whole story and you still ask me questions. There's nothing hard about it. Can't you see that we will employ the same method that Dr. Almaden used?
Hypnotizing that woman just the way he did.
You're getting smart, Lilac. So I suppose you understand how you are to proceed now.
I begin to see. Later tonight, we'll kidnap the girl and bring her here.
But don't go there armed, Lilac. It's risky to use guns because a bullet might kill the girl or the doctor.
I won't forget that. We'd better be going.
This is the rugged new G.I. Joe adventure team. At dawn, G.I. Joe heads out across the desert in search of a mysterious missing mummy. Suddenly, an earthquake. No time to lose. Joe must get the mummy out. Can G.I. Joe win his race against time? Find out in The Secret of the Mummy's Tomb, one of the exciting G.I. Joe adventure team sets. G.I. Joe, now with lifelike hair from Hasbro.
It's like living a storybook adventure beyond your wildest imagination. From the North Pole of Fantasyland comes a feature-length fable with the most enchanting characters in the whole wide world, headed by the white-whiskered fellow who's the granddaddy of them all. Now, a magic motion picture transports you to an over-the-rainbow land, past the doors of Santa's towering castle, and the strange, mysterious, all-seeing eye, into a fantastic crystal laboratory filled with weird and wonderful secrets no one has ever seen before. You'll see them all, and you'll discover how Santa can watch every child on Earth and every good or bad thing they do. Now meet Merlin, the Wizard of Wizards, the miracle man of the ages.
Two for the show. Away we go. Hurry, Mr. Merlin. This is no time to play horses.
Come face to face with the devil himself, a mischievous demon determined to mess things up as much as he can.
It's yours. Nobody saw you take it, Lupita. They have more and they won't miss it. What does one little doll matter, don't you see?
Leave it to that devilish trickster to sidetrack Santa up a tree. Watch the jolly hijinks of Santa Claus as he decides to fight fire with fire.
Oh ho, a cannon. Ouch! Oh, oh!
You won't want to miss the entertainment wonder of the ages, the treat of a lifetime for anyone who has ever believed there really is a Santa Claus.
It's almost day, and Santa Claus hasn't come.
Sleep now, darling. Sleep now and you will see. Maybe when you wake up, you'll find it, darling.
You'll see more wonders than you can wave a wand at as a dazzling panorama unfolds before your startled eyes.
Saturday and Sunday matinee only at a theater near you.
Oh, man. That really brings back some memories of Christmas in the Bird family household. But, you know, like Theo, you didn't tell me there was an Aztec mummy and a Mexican wrestler superhero in this. Like, how much entertainment could they possibly squeeze into one flick? My mind is blown.
Well, no, that's something no one would argue with, Bird, but you're right. Each of the Aztec mummy films features the masked Mexican wrestling hero, the Angel.
But I still have to ask, where is the Aztec mummy?
Yeah, you got a Mexican wrestler in a cape, gun battles, car chases, but like, where's the mummy in all this mayhem?
Oh, it's coming. They're just saving the best for last. Just watch.
And speaking of the best, it's common knowledge that we have the best viewers ever, and the best viewer mail.
Too true, Spectra, too true.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for that Aztec mummy to show up in his own movie, the mail is in, and it's also way out.
Oh, yes it is, And here we have mail from some of our cool cat viewers. Spectra, what do you got?
Well, Chuck from Pittsburgh says, Zelda, Bird, and Theo, he loves us and doesn't want us to ever quit. Saturday night wouldn't be the same without us.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. I've got Mike Gillis. This is from Youngstown, New York. A good movie to show would be The Seven Faces of Dr. Lowe. Well, Mike, I agree with you. That's a George Pell spectacular. That's a great film, and we will certainly keep it in mind. Thank you for writing.
And this is
Bird,
this is from our friend Karen Everett in Houghton, New York, down near the Finger Lakes, and she felt it necessary to tell us that she has 3 grandsons, age 8, 5, and 12.
Oh.
So she wants to hope this note finds you in good spirits. We've watched your show for many years, and now our grandsons watch with us. There's the story right there. A few years ago, I asked for an autograph picture, and you sent a very treasured picture. Well, we had a house fire started by lightning. Wow. I wonder if it happened while you were watching the show, but we won't go that far. I wonder if you could send us a new picture, which I learned from our vault master we did, and would love it as well as our grandsons. So there's 3 generations watching Offbeat Cinema over there in Houghton, New York. So the kids are so funny, they snap their fingers all the way through the commercials during the movies. Well, we're so glad to hear from you, Kevin, and grandsons Logan, Jackson, and Benson.
Fantastic.
Wow,
That's
very
great.
nice.
Snaps to those.
Here's to you 3 and
no
the
question.
grandparents and everyone else over there in the Everett household.
Nice.
Now, the crystal ball on the wall says it's time to get back to the angel, the bat, and eventually the Aztec mummy. Tonight, here on Offbeat Cinema.
Well, at last I have the papers finished. Well, now let's go up to bed. Tomorrow there'll be plenty of things to do.
That's enough. Let him alone. Come on now.
Aha! Well, it seems you got two birds with just one kidnapping.
That's right, boss. We had to bring the kid along. She busted in on us and we didn't want to risk her messing up our plans.
That's just fine. Now it'll be much easier to get Dr. Almaded. When he's needed. Untie her. Good evening, young lady. It looks as if we're face to face once more. I certainly hope my men didn't mistreat you.
Aren't you going to tire of including us in your crimes, Dr. Krupp?
I'll get tired the day I can put my hands on the thing that can help me to progress in my work. The Aztec treasure. No, young lady. I know you think I'm lying, but I assure you I don't want the money to use it as others might use it. Success brings total joy. The Aztec treasure is only for my work. I need riches in order to make an important experiment that I want the world to see. In that way I'll reach the pinnacle.
I know what you're thinking. You're sure I'm going to guide you straight to where you imagine those ornaments are hidden.
Exactly, young lady.
Well, I hate to disillusion you, Dr. Krupp. I don't know where they are, so I can't take you.
Now that's very interesting.
Well, it's obvious. They didn't tell you my fiancé went to the tomb and replaced the objects.
No, young lady. I don't forget anything. I know it.
In that case, you must have heard that there was an explosion that destroyed the temple completely, and that my father was killed as well.
I do hope your poor father didn't suffer too much. But I imagine the pyramid is still where it was before. Am I right? Now listen, I'm not completely stupid, though you think so. Suppose that the temple actually did tumble down. In that case, we'll remove the remains and rescue the ornaments. I've plenty of men.
But don't think I'm going to help.
Naturally, you'd refuse. I know your type, and I expected that you would. Why should you want to assist? But if I were to use the method that your fiancé used...
Not hypnosis.
Precisely, my dear.
Do you forget that I know a great deal about this? I'd apply all my strength and fight you. Under those conditions, you couldn't hypnotize me.
You're absolutely right. But since you did learn a great deal through your father, and I didn't forget that fact, you undoubtedly know that there are certain drugs, such as this one that I have prepared, that make a patient quite willing to cooperate completely, my dear.
Flora, what are they going to do to you? No, don't hurt Flora.
Take that brat away. Lock her up. We'll just wait around 12 hours. Then I'll begin to hypnotize her.
Oh, this head. This time they really broke my body to pieces.
They must have scalped me, or at least it feels like that.
But now we'd better do something. We can't sit around here crying. I'm afraid that little Jenny and Flora are in danger.
Unfortunately, we don't have any information as to where that bat's hiding.
I'm going to call the police.
No, Edward, no. That could be dangerous. You see, if you call the police, they might kill the girls.
Yes, Pinkott.
And frankly, the best thing we can do is wait until the bat telephones us, and we'll know what it is he has in mind then.
Yes, I guess you're right, but who can bear such a situation? Just to wait, and we can't do a thing.
Yes, Edward, it's true, but nothing can be done. So please try to calm down. Hey, listen, why didn't you ask for help from the angel?
It happened so fast, you know. Anyway, last night I hid the little radio. No, I can call him.
Oh, what good would that do? After they steal the horse, you close the stable. Great Jupiter, how this bump hurts. Swear that whoever did it busted me on the head with a bulldozer. Come closer for a second. Look, I don't want to alarm Edward, but I can assure you that the bat's going to phone him tomorrow or Wednesday. Now, should he do that, I think it would be a good idea if you put in a little call to the angel. I've been getting too many lumps lately, you know, and my brain just can't stand too much gaff.
Yeah, sure.
Understand?
Sure I do.
Good morning, boss.
Lilac, bring in Flora immediately.
Yes, boss. Come on, he's waiting. Didn't you hear? The boss is waiting. You can start the work now. Why, she didn't even try to resist.
A few cc's of my drug, and your resistance disappeared, right? Come. Lie down right there.
No.
Do as you're told. She has great willpower. I'm really astounded. Even under the effects of the drug, her unconscious mind continues to put up a fight. She reflects a strong and rebellious personality. There. Pull the curtain. I'll start to work on her right away, Lilac.
You gonna hypnotize her, boss?
Flora, I'm your master. Give me your hand. And now look me straight in the eyes. Flora, I'm ordering you. You're getting tired, Flora. You're getting tired. You're getting tired. Yes, you're slowly getting tired. You feel that you want to rest. You feel that you must rest. You are sleeping. You are sleeping. You are sleeping deeply. You sleep the sleep of the dead. You're sleeping. Well, now I have her in my power. In her trance, she'll do anything I tell her.
And now what do you do?
I'll proceed with Flora to the pyramid. But I consider it expedient to take Dr. Almaden prisoner. When we return with the breastplate and the bracelet, he can decipher the hieroglyphics on those objects, Lilac. And in turn, they'll tell us exactly where the Aztec treasure is.
So now we go and bring the doctor here, right?
No. Undoubtedly, they're prepared. If you go, they're likely to capture you.
Yeah?
I have another plan. You could reach him on the telephone.
That'd be easy.
And phone him right now.
You know, Cass, watching this flick makes me think of all the many mummy movies that have crawled out of the cinematic tombs over many years. Now, the first big one was in the sound era. That was Boris Karloff as Imhotep in The Mummy.
Death, eternal punishment for
anyone who opens this casket.
The mummy. Is it dead or alive? Human or inhuman? You'll know. You'll see. You'll feel the awful, creeping, crawling terror that stands your hair on end and brings a scream to your lips. There's nothing on earth like the mummy.
You will not remember what I show you now, and yet I shall awaken memories of love and crime and death.
Now I know his horrible plan. He is going to kill her and make her a living mummy like himself.
That was a great Gothic romance, Theo. It took a few years after that, but as we all know, you can't keep a good mummy down. So Universal Studios unwrapped a whole series of mummy movies in the 1940s.
Spawned from the depths of doom comes the most fearful monster of the ages, to strike with paralyzing terror the despoilers of ancient tombs. Here is new horror by the master of menace, Lon Chaney as the mummy, with Dick Foran, John Hubbard, Ellis Knox, George Zuko, Wallace Ford, Turon Bay, in The Mummy's Tomb.
Creature that's been alive for over 3,000 years is in this town, and it's brought death with it. We've got to run it down.
Yeah, like those flicks were cool and all, but you know, for me, the greatest mummy epic of them all wasn't any of those.
So, what, Bird, like Christopher Lee?
No.
Ooh, Brendan Fraser.
No, like, man, I am talking really, really classic.
Find the mummy. Don't worry, the mummy will find you.
You'll howl as you follow Bud and Lou in a strange land where exotic dancers perform ancient rituals. You'll scream at this mystic world of mad magic and uproarious adventure.
Does this mean anything to you?
It means death to whoever holds it.
Starring Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, with sultry Marie Windsor giving you your first look inside Costello.
Turn off the lights.
Let's stop fooling and cut 'em open. And Peggy King, George Gobel's TV girlfriend.
You flew in from the Middle West and certainly impressed the population hereabouts.
Imagine Lou trying to be charming to a snake. And Bud at the end of his rope. Stop blowing! Your nerves will jangle as they tangle with terror, meddle with murder, and try to elude a curse 4,000 years old.
Get rid of it! No! What is it? Dynamite!
Okay, Bird, you got me there, but right now we're hanging out with the curse of the Aztec mummy, courtesy of K. Gordon Murray, tonight on Offbeat Cinema.
Who's speaking?
Dr. Almaden?
Yes, this is Almaden.
Pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you, Doctor.
Who is this, please?
This is Dr. Krupp. I'm sure you must realize now that your fiancée and your daughter are both in my power.
Yes, so what should I do now, Dr. Krupp?
You are to come here to this house alone. This is the address, so write it down.
Go ahead.
Mount Lorraine, number 22.
Do you have it?
Yes.
Fine. You're to be here in 30 minutes, Doctor. You're an intelligent man, but I'll repeat it, Doctor. You're to come to this address alone. If you should decide not to, then your girlfriend would have to suffer for your defiance. You understand?
You win. I'll go.
And now we'll wait here for Dr. Almaden, so that I can carry out the plan.
I heard him on extension. What are you gonna do?
I'm leaving right now.
What'll you do if it's a trap?
There's no other alternative. Flora's in great danger.
Should I go wake up Pincott? 'Cause he told us if something happened to let him know about it.
No. He said to go alone. You two better stay here. If it's at all possible, I'll call you later.
We'll wait. Angel! Angel!
Yes, Bobby. What's the matter?
Angel, we got troubles and they're bad. Edward went out just now. He's gone to the Bats' hideout. They got Jenny and Flora captive.
Give me the address.
Yes, Mount Lorraine 22. I'm scared they'll hurt them, Angel. Please hurry and get there.
I'm leaving right away, Bobby. And try not to worry. I'll do everything possible to save them.
Thanks, Angel.
They're entering. Pretty soon we'll be getting started and we'll find the treasure.
Doctor!
Please take a seat.
Now, where's my daughter and where's Flora?
Your girlfriend is there. And your daughter in there.
You dog, if you hurt them, I swear up.
Calm down, Dr. Almaden. They're not harmed, don't worry. She's only sleeping now. Witness my hypnotic power.
Why, you black-hearted pig. You ugly rat. You shut your mouth, you. It's very easy to beat a man when he's tied. And cowardly.
Dr. Almaden, don't insult me like that or I'll make you pay for it. I don't doubt for a second that you're plenty of man. I'd be glad to try you out. I have a pair of fists that could break your head. But right now, I want to get something that's more important. After it's mine, I promise that you and I want to fight you, Doctor. Alone! I'll tell you my intentions. I'm going to accompany your lovely fiancée to the pyramid. The breastplate and the bracelet are there. I want them. You'll stay tied here in the house. I'll leave a couple of men to guard you. When we do return, I'll make you sit down and decipher the hieroglyphics so that we'll obtain the Aztec treasure, Doctor.
But that's very dangerous. You're crazy.
I know all the danger involved.
I could tell you what happened to us in the tomb, Doctor. You'd go anyway, wouldn't you?
Exactly, so it's useless to waste your breath.
I guess you're right. But you're going to take the consequences.
Watch what you're saying, friend.
Don't think that my aim is to threaten you. But there are certain supernatural things, mysteries that amaze us all. And you didn't study that, Doctor.
I'll hear all about it later. Your conversation is very interesting. But now the only thing I want to know is if you intend to cooperate with me.
I haven't the slightest intention.
But I have methods. I can persuade you.
In that case, why'd you bother to ask? Krupp, as soon as I've deciphered the hieroglyphics, you'll free us. I want your word.
You have my word. You'll all be set free.
The alarm just rang. There's a stranger out there.
Why, if you dare to call the police... It's the angel. I certainly want to thank you, Doctor. Now we can finish him. We better put a stop to this. You two stay and watch the doctor.
Flora. Flora. Flora.
I'll work on this one. You others can finish the angel. I didn't think that you and I'd have our little fight so soon, Dr. Almaden. Angel, you know I'm getting pretty sick of your interference in my affairs. But I stopped you tonight, and I can't permit you to continue. I don't even want to find out who you are. It really doesn't matter since you're no longer a threat. You'll be dead pretty soon, and who'll care about your true identity? Huh. All I can say is bon voyage. I don't admire your valor. All right, take him to the death chamber. Now, Lilac, we'll be going to the pyramid.
I'm ready.
Flora, can you hear? Answer, I command you to answer. Can you hear?
Yes.
Come here, then. You two will stay here to watch the doctor and the girl.
Yes,
if
sir.
you make another mistake, you'll pay with your lives. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Flora, come. We'll be going.
Where are you taking me?
You'll find out soon enough.
All set? In just a couple of minutes now, you'll be dead.
We better go. They're all waiting out there for us.
Bobby! Bobby!
Yes?
This is the Angel. My life depends on the strength of a light cord. I want you to come running to Mount Lorraine number 22, the address that you gave me before.
Yes. First I'll waken Pinkot. He might lend us a hand.
There's not a moment to lose. I want you here in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'll be there.
Listen, you, where's the Angel?
He's taking a little nap in the prettiest place, Doctor.
Isn't that right, boy?
Angel! Angel!
Bobby! Bobby, I hear you!
I got inside the house. So now where?
Come on, toward the rear of the house.
Angel! It's a dead end.
Right in front of you. You'll see a secret door. To open it, press the button on the left-hand side. It's high up.
Angel!
Bobby, look around and find something to push me back and forth with. But hurry! Harder! Harder! Thanks, Bobby. I've never been so close to death as I was hanging in that chamber just then.
Are you sure you weren't hurt?
Yes. Now we've got to go in and rescue your brother. I don't know how many men are in there standing guard, but I know we've got to use our heads this time. Come on.
You hear that? Who made that noise? I don't know. We better investigate.
Why haven't those boys returned?
I don't know. Here they come now. Get your hands in the air. Get their guns. Get in there, all of you.
Angel, how can I have it thank you?
Come on.
Papa, Papa!
Jenny, my darling. Calm down, dear. Don't worry. There's nothing to frighten you. Bobby, I want you to take Jenny to the house and keep your eyes open, understand?
Sure, Dad.
Now, give me that pistol.
And your fiancée?
The bat took her to the pyramid. Let's go find her.
Come on.
So, Bird, tell us what we're doing at this event.
Well, those in the know in the Buffalo music scene would maybe say that May 1st is a bit of a national holiday, and that being the commemoration of the birthday of Mark Freeland. And Mark passed away a few years ago, but we still commemorate his birthday because he was such an outsized figure in music making, art making, and inspiring. There's so many musicians in Buffalo that have gone on to having music be their profession, and that they credit Mark in some way for inspiring, because he was just so open, so creative, and so generous with that creativity to anyone that would come within 3 feet of him. If you're within 3 feet of him, you're in the Mark Freeland vortex. So maybe we're in the Mark Freeland vortex right now.
Maybe we are.
What about the alien on my jacket? What about the alien on my jacket?
So tell us about this event. Why have this event? Why continue to do this? Tell us why you do this.
This is the Mark Freeland tribute. We call it Electro Respect because we're showing respect to the Electro Man. And we've been doing it for 17 years since he passed. And we do it because Mark's been in music so long that he had, I would go to the Continental and we'd hang out. And then those people who hung out at the Continental now have kids. And actually those kids are having kids. So there's generations of Mark Freeland fans and Electro Man fans. And the fans of his art, fans of his music, that just want to keep that celebration going because besides being a fan of it, it's energizing and it's like throwing a rock in the water with the ripples. All those ripples are going out, and I want to continue that.
We're with someone that was around for the good stuff and around for some of the influence, who made a lot out of it. So let's hear from our good friend Bud Redding.
Hey, Tony, thank you. Yeah, I was a great friend with Mark for many, many years. He was a big influence to me. It was like one of the first times I ever snuck out to a bar to see a band. I saw him playing Pegasus and then Pegasonics. It was always something amazing, and he was always on the forefront. He was always doing something different than everybody else. And then in I don't know, around 1980 or so, he came out with the Electro Man and the 6-song EP that kind of changed Buffalo music forever. Go, 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 and Let's Stay Up and Party Till 6 in the morning. That it was like he was the godfather of punk. He was like the king of progressive rock, and then he was the godfather of punk. He was something else.
She didn't lie. There are signs of an explosion. All of you come down here.
We've got to comb this place thoroughly. I know that the breastplate and the bracelet are here.
What's this?
Move the rock back.
Boss, that's the monster that attacked us in Dr. Almadin's house.
Now that's a stupid thing to say, Lilac. It's only a mummy that's lain there for centuries. It's most probable that the explosion uncovered it.
But boss,
I found it at last.
it's the bracelet, look.
We'll find the treasure now.
Get your hands up.
The angel.
He escaped once more, the meddler.
All right, get over there. All of you, too.
Throw down your arms.
Give the breastplate and the bracelet back to the mummy.
No. Obey or the girl gets a bullet right now. Lilac, start firing. Drop that zombie before he murders us. Help her up.
This time we really are in a jam, Doctor.
I'm sorry we caused you trouble. You didn't have to risk your own neck.
Don't worry about that.
The only thing that can save us now is the mummy. Let's stall and we'll gain time.
But do you really think that the mummy will find this house, Doctor?
Yes, because there are undecipherable mysteries surrounding his ceremony of burial. Superior forces can guide the mummy, obviously. It's happened like that on other occasions. So I really do think that the mummy could come tonight to recover the objects that the Aztecs placed in his custody. Don't forget that the bat stole them before, Angel. I'm sure now that...
Come on. The boss is out there waiting. Get up.
Where did you put Flora?
I think I should tell you, Dr. Almadin, that I intend to use her as a hostage. I'll set her free in a while, Doctor, once you have deciphered these hieroglyphics here. What's more, do this work and you'll get a part of the treasure, once the treasure is found. It's a deal?
All right, I accept, but under one condition.
Which is?
She is to sit in here while I work, and she must be conscious.
Very well, Dr. Almadin. Did you hear?
I'll bring her in.
You know, there's something I'd like to find out. Won't you tell me who or what injects life into the mummy?
Certain spirits command it.
Are you trying to say there are powers that are completely supernatural, that give orders to the mummy, Doctor?
There's a lot you don't know about these things, and you shouldn't meddle. I told you that.
Well, it's all the same with me. Actually, I'm only interested in the Aztec treasure. I'll use that money to continue my experiments, Doctor. Awaken. Wake up, Flora.
Edward, dear, they beat you. Why did they tie you?
There, calm down, Flora. Later I'll explain the whole business.
Well, Dr. Almaden, I did what I just promised. I hope that you'll do the same and get started. You'll keep your word, I suppose, and decipher this message.
Yes, Doctor.
Edward, no.
But I'll need a book that's in my house first.
What's it called?
It's called Ancient Aztec History. It has certain important keys I need. It's the only way I can decipher the hieroglyphics. It must be brought here.
Ah, but who will bring it, Doctor?
Simply telephone my house. My young brother will bring it here.
But do you really mean you're going to do it?
Who's speaking?
Your brother. He has a few words.
Bobby? Edward speaking. I'm fine. And Jenny?
All tucked in. Anna's with her now.
Now listen, Bobby. In my bookcase, close to the desk in the study, there is a heavy book. Ancient Aztec History. I need it at Mount Lorraine, number 22.
You saying you returned? That's the Bats place, Edward.
Yes, the Bats place. Now come quickly.
Before we go on with this thing, and especially since you both have expressions that are very sad, I think it would be a good idea if we saw the face of our friend the angel. Could be that he has a happier look. In just a moment, you'll all know who this defender of justice really is.
You?
So this is the famous angel, eh?
Pinkat, you're the angel.
Your timid and cowardly helper, Dr. Almaden. Congratulations. You had us fooled.
I hate to say it, but I guess the angel's finished now, Doctor.
That explains why you ran the moment you found yourself up against danger.
And I used to call you a coward. Forgive me, Pincott.
I never associated the two.
Tell me, are you just about through, Doctor?
No. I've only translated the first half of the message.
Well, try to work faster, then.
I can't work any faster. I'm sorry, Dr. Krupp.
1 hour is all the time you have to get the translation completed. Should you not get it done, You must finish it in 5 minutes, Dr. Almaden.
There, I finished.
Perfect.
I hope you'll keep your promise and set us all free, Doctor.
Eh? Ah, yes. And of course you know what to do now, Lilac, don't you?
Krupp, just what do you intend to do? Murder us all?
What do you think?
You heartless, unscrupulous pig!
No! Doctor, help me! Can't you hear me? Help! Doctor, please help me! Please, no! No, please help me! No! No! Help! 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 Ah!
And now no mortal is going to discover the Aztec treasure. Those riches don't belong to us.
And the mummy?
Since they destroyed the temple of Tecatlipoca, he has no reason to go there. In my opinion, he'll probably find some place where mortals seldom tread, a spot where he can sleep his eternal sleep and keep watch over the objects that his forefathers entrusted to his care.
This flick was so far gone, it was a little hard to follow the thread. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? You got gangsters, sacrificial ceremonies, kidnapping, and some kid who's got the angel's direct line. But like, man, when the Aztec mummy cat finally showed up, he just blew up the whole scene.
Just play it cool, Bert. Just play it cool. When the mummy does finally show up, that's when this flick really flies.
Right. Like the cat says in the film, there are certain supernatural things that amaze us all. And this flick certainly qualifies.
Yeah, you know, like, I wonder whatever happened to that angel cat.
Oh, I think he was back in the sequel, The Robot vs. the Aztec Mummy, about a year later.
Yeah. You know, you just can't keep an Aztec mummy down. You might call this film a golden moldy.
Golden moldy, that's true, Bert. And another thing you can't keep down is another visit to the Hungry Ear. And, Cats, we've got one more surprise for you tonight. This comes to us from Forestville, New York. Our friend Ralph in Forestville, New York, sent us his artistic interpretation of Bird, Zelda, and myself.
Oh,
Ralph, we dig this. This is going into the archives, onto the Offbeat Cinema Gallery. And thanks so much for sending this. And he also included a sentiment that says, "We know who you are for real. Welcome to Earth." And there we are. And next time on Offbeat Cinema, join us where the coffee is always hot and the movies are oh so cool.
So, I guess that about wraps up tonight's show. Thanks for joining us tonight, and remember,
keep watching the skies.
Just keep watching the skies.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.